he's a genius. He can do special things with the football.
Ball still in there. Pulisic! Hat-trick!
This one drops in! And forget away!
¡Golazo! ¡Golazo! ¡Golazo!
He's a genius. He can do special things with the football.
Ball still in there. Pulisic! Hat-trick!
This one drops in! And forget away!
¡Golazo! ¡Golazo! ¡Golazo!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sleepy Hollow Soccer Show on sleepyhollowradio.com. Today, we will be discussing the Premier League, the Champions League, the European Premier League and what that's all about, the Mls Playoff Push, the U.S. men's and women's national teams players in review, and last but certainly not least, we will have a caller segment where we will have one friend call, and we'll see how it goes.
Let's get started. Jump right into the Premier League with an exciting matchup to start the week. Chelsea versus Southampton ended in a 3-3 draw. It's been rough for Chelsea so far, I think. A lot of inconsistency.
Yeah, I mean, Timo Werner got 2 goals and an assist from Kai Havertz. I mean, this Chelsea team looked electric. They looked on fire, but there you have Southampton, like the last minute, score the deciding tying goal, and in the end, it's 3-3. And
it looked like that defense, especially without Thiago Silva, they were not playing with confidence at all, and especially Kepa.
Yeah,
Kepa has had no confidence.
I think it was unfortunate for Mendy to be not in the squad for that game. I think they really should have put Mendy in the starting 11, but unfortunately he wasn't available. So I think for next time, Mendy has to start.
And for a team like Chelsea, that's 2 points lost. That's not 1 point gained. Just absolutely terrible for them.
Yeah, a team who always lands in the top 6. You know, you should think that a team like Chelsea can be a team like Southampton, but just today, it wasn't the case.
Let's move right into the game of the week. Everton versus Liverpool in the Merseyside derby.
Yeah, Van Dijk became injured in this fixture just because of a Jordan Pickford tackle. I think this was a really interesting game. You know, you had both sides created equal amount of chances. I honestly think, though, that Virgil van Dijk will be a huge loss for Everton. For Liverpool. Sorry about that.
And although it was a 2-2 draw, I think we should just discuss that goal at the end.
Yeah, I don't know what VAR, the people doing VAR, what they were thinking. I mean, it was a clear onside goal.
VAR is pretty simple to work. I mean, maybe his, a portion of his, a fraction of his sleeve may have been, just a little bit over, but that's ridiculous.
That should have been a 3-2 win for Liverpool, but, I mean, it is what it is. You can't complain. I mean, it's already happened, but...
And that game was a painful one. They should have had 3 points, and they lost Virgil van Dijk for a considerable amount of time with an ACL injury.
Yeah, no, honestly, I think they, due to the fact that Mane was back in the squad, I do think that they performed better with him in the starting 11. I mean, look at what happened with Aston Villa. He wasn't there, and they were just catastrophic. I mean, a bigger improvement from that game.
And especially without Alisson in goal, it's even harder.
I think Adrian, he hasn't been performing his best lately, but I think there's always time for improvement. So we'll see what happens with him.
And before we move on, credit to Everton for playing a great game as well, 2-2.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored yet again. James Rodriguez with an assist. You know, Michael Keane
leading the MLS for the Premier League for Calvert-Lewin. Impressive. Let's move into our next game, Newcastle versus Manchester United. United won 4-1, although it was 1-1 in the 85th minute.
Yeah, I mean, this was a team that was struggling. Manchester United, they were struggling against a well-improved Newcastle squad. But Bruno Fernandes was there, and he made just what he needed to do, and, 4-1 win.
I feel like they're becoming a little too dependent on Bruno Fernandes. He really carried that squad towards the end.
He's done. He's made a lot of assists, made some goals, but mainly they're from penalties. But, it's whatever. But I think Manchester United, they're performing well so far. I mean, after that 6-1 defeat to Tottenham, I mean, like I said before with Liverpool, there's always time for recovery, for getting back as sharp as you can.
And especially with Cavani, he'll be back. He'll be in the squad for the first time very soon.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see him score. Like I don't want him to end up like a flop, you would say, compared to other players. But yeah, let's see if we can see like the best of him.
We'll see. And then let's jump to our next game: Manchester City versus Arsenal. A 1-0 win for Manchester City, but that game was dominated by City.
Yeah, it's I honestly think this. Yeah, the result we all expected. Manchester City would win against Arsenal, but credits to actually Bukayo Saka, who's had a really good game, especially for a team like Manchester City to pull off an impressive performance like that. I think he's going to be one of the big stars in the future.
And Aguirre, he's back.
Yeah, I mean,
back and better than ever.
We haven't seen him play in a while. I mean, it's good to have the so-called Manchester City legend back in the squad. Like, we'll see him score some goals this season. It's gonna be all good.
This is a good debut for him. Leicester City versus Ashton Villa. 1-0 win for Ashton Villa. They are continuing to win in the Premier League.
Yep, Ross Barkley, the English player on loan from Chelsea, rockets home the game winner at the King Power Stadium, and that allows Aston Villa to remain perfect in the start of the Premier League.
They are on absolute fire. Nothing's going to stop this team right now. And to make a statement over Liverpool and then Leicester City, just amazing for them.
We talked about this team, this Aston Villa team. They were well improved, good new goalkeeper, new right back, new central midfielders, new striker. This team looks deadly, and they have proven it so far. And maybe, who knows, maybe we could see them challenge for the Europa League or maybe even Champions League.
And looking ahead, and even for the title, let's not take that out of contention. I mean, if Leicester could do it in 2015, 2016, they could make a run as well. Anything's possible.
Definitely.
And they're looking ahead to Leeds this Friday. That'll be an interesting matchup. See if they can capitalize on 3 points there.
Yeah, and I mean, last season we didn't expect Leicester City to make the top 5. They just landed in the 5th place, which qualified them for the Europa League. So maybe, who knows? We could see Aston Villa do the same here this season.
We'll see. Tottenham versus West Ham, 3-3 draw. Tottenham started out 3-0, but then West Ham crept back into the game.
Yeah, this was an incredible match, especially with possibly one of the best last-minute goals in Premier League history. I mean, this was just like ridiculous. Tottenham were winning 3-0, and they couldn't maintain the clean sheet. Eventually, West Ham got 1 goal back from Balbuena, then another one from Davinson Sanchez in his own net, and then last but not least, Lanzini's sensational strike.
That was an amazing goal.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of criticism over Jose Mourinho, the Tottenham manager, about how he has, after they went 3-0, he just sat back, had his team park the bus, per se.
I mean, I would consider Jose Mourinho not at his best as he usually is. You've seen him coach great teams like Inter, like Real Madrid, Chelsea, but with Tottenham, I think it's different in how they're not performing as well as like normally Mourinho's others team, like past teams, how they would perform as good.
And I do think it's one of the difficult things about Mourinho and this team is Mourinho's teams, his good teams he's coached in the past, especially like Chelsea, they've had these amazing defenses and like goalkeepers. So like when you're parking the bus with teams like that, it's very effective. If you have John Terry at the back, you feel confident. But this Tottenham team is very attack focused.
Definitely. I think for Tottenham, there's always time for improvement, especially in the defense line. I mean, and goalkeeper possibly. I mean, you do have Hugo Lloris and Joe Hart, but they're getting pretty old, so you might want to consider like looking for like a new like replacement for goalkeeper, or like maybe even center backs. You could like sign someone else from the Premier League. I know they haven't signed a lot of defenders lately, so yeah.
And they sold Vertonghen.
Yeah, they sold him to Benfica. I think that was a huge loss, but at the same time, I think Vertonghen was ready for a new challenge in his career.
Agreed. Let's talk about the battle of the losers. Sheffield United versus Fulham ended in a 1-1 draw, and they're each able to gain their first point.
This is I don't want to say embarrassing because it's not like, well, I think it is embarrassing. I mean, first of all, you have sponsored companies who are paying £15, €15 to watch this game, which first of all, I don't think it's even worth the money, not even $1, because this game was just like there wasn't too much going on.
Zero interest from both teams.
Yeah, definitely. I think both Sheffield United and Fulham, they've gone to a really poor start in the Premier League. Yeah, I didn't expect much from this team. Maybe even like a 1-0 win from Sheffield United or Fulham. I mean, but a 1-1 draw, fair result. We did have Alexander Mitrovic from Fulham miss a penalty. I mean, that is an impactful moment. That could have been the winner for Fulham, but these teams definitely will battle for relegation. There's no doubt about that.
For games like this, every point counts.
Definitely, yes.
Come the end of the season, they look back on this game and they say, maybe we could have gone 3 points here, get us out of the Premier League, keep us in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And our Crystal Palace versus Brighton ended in a 1-1 draw. Not much to say about that game. West Brom versus Burnley, a 0-0 draw.
And now Leeds against Wolves ended in a 1-0 win to the visiting side, to Wolverhampton Wanderers. And this match was pretty interesting, I'd say, although there wasn't like enough like goals like to like look forward to. I think having Leeds and Wolves play two talented squads, I think that was really like joyful.
And everyone loves this Leeds team, this underdog story.
Definitely.
This team is playing with passion, and it's awesome to see.
Yeah, and for Wolves, they did win a deflected shot from Raul Jimenez, who it deflected off of Calvin Phillips from Leeds. It was really unlucky, but yeah, it is what it is. I mean, Wolves did all they can, and they won. They got the 3 points.
And looking forward to next week, I think the big matchups we should be talking about: Manchester United against Chelsea.
Yep.
What's your pick?
This is I don't know. Honestly, I mean, considering Chelsea's form, Manchester United getting back on top, I want to say Manchester United 2-1, but I mean, it's the Premier League. I mean, anything can happen. So, at the very least, I'll say a 2-2 draw.
I think Chelsea, especially like with their offensive firepower, that especially after a 0-0 draw in the Champions League, which we'll talk about later, they will come out of the gate firing. I'm going to say 3-1 Chelsea.
All right.
Spoil the Manchester United win in the Champions League.
All right. So, who is the strongest team right now in the Premier League? Who do you think, Aidan?
I think the strongest team in the Premier League, I think you have to give it to Villa. I mean, a lot of people will say, oh, Villa's new, we don't know much about them. But every game they are winning, they're dominating. Like,
I agree.
That 7-2 win against Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool's they've lost Van Dijk, so they can't be the strongest team.
Yeah, no, they're definitely, it seems as though they're slipping away from the title race, even though it's only five games have gone by. But Aston Villa, they've only played 4 games, and to be second with 12 points, that's pretty impressive. I mean, they're 1 game behind everyone else, as well as Manchester City and Man United and Burnley. But again, this team is full of potential. I mean, I had my doubts for Dean Smith, the Villa manager, but looks like he can survive this year for sure.
And Everton's played very well. They've played like extremely well, especially with the addition of James Rodriguez.
Yeah, definitely. 4 wins, 1 draw so far in 5 games for Everton. This is quite impressive. I mean, they've never had a greater start to the Premier League like this one, and yeah. And
that attack is extremely quick.
Yeah.
It's a great counterattack they have going on there.
The midfield as well, the well-improved midfield is on point as well. They've Allen, Aguirre, they've all become very adaptive here to play in England, and it's going well so far.
I'm looking forward to Everton versus Ashton Villa on January 16th.
That's going to be pretty.
That will be an amazing game if these teams keep it up. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with the Champions League recap.
See you then. And we're back on the soccer show at sleepyhollowradio.com. I'm Kevin Aguirre, joined by Aidan Bowler, and to continue on on episode 3, we have the Champions League Week 1. The Champions League is officially back, and it did not disappoint with these fixtures. First of all, Dinamo Kiev 0, Juventus 2. Morata scores a brace. I love seeing him in a Juventus shirt. I don't know about everyone else.
He's filled right in for Ronaldo. He's playing some great soccer. It'll be interesting to see what they do once Ronaldo comes back. Maybe play them both at the front. That would be interesting.
Yeah. And Zenit 1, Club Brugge 2. Not too much here, except Horvat, the goalkeeper, the American goalkeeper, who was brilliant tonight. We'll talk about him later on. Barcelona 5, Fenerbahce 1. A dominant performance from Barcelona. Fati, Pedri, basically the whole squad is looking sharp, especially for the youngsters.
It looks like, they've kind of like swept this under the rug now, and Messi just has been quiet, and he's playing now. He's having fun with this team.
Yep.
He's kind of just accepted that he's here for one more year, and he's going to give it everything he has.
Yep. This is a brand new Barcelona team. You know, they sold some key players from last season. They brought in some new youngsters. And we'll see what this Barca can bring us for the rest of the season.
Are Messi and Koeman, are they good now? We'll just accept that.
We'll have to see. Chelsea 0, Sevilla 0. It's a fair result. I think both teams had an equal amount of chances. I think for me, this result was expected. These are two superb teams. One is an Europa League winner. The other one is fantastic when it comes to football.
I would think the draw was expected, but I would not think a 0-0 finish.
I think they would have scored some goals
with Chelsea's front.
Yeah,
with Werner, Havertz, Pulisic, they should have scored, and especially Sevilla with De Jong in the front.
Yeah,
there should have been some goals, but both defenses played excellent.
Yeah, and Mendy, the new goalkeeper for Chelsea, he's already done a better job than Kepa. I think we can all say. He's had some saves in this match.
And Lampard's kind of accepted him as his number one now. Yeah. And Lampard received some criticism for playing Christian Pulisic on the right wing instead of his natural position in the left wing. A lot of people were saying when he's on the right wing, he just tries to cross the ball in. Towards when he's on the left wing, he's a lot more attacking.
I think what we've seen from the left wing, I think he's performed way better on the left wing. There aren't as many opportunities from right wing. He's just started to play right wing, but I think he should go back to left wing if Chelsea want to keep improving, if they want to play like they played last year.
Because Pulisic, that's where he thrives, on the left wing.
Definitely.
He is willing to put his head down and dribble through multiple defenders, just eyes right on the goal.
Yep. Lazio 3, Borussia Dortmund 1. I did not expect this result, to be honest. Immobile scored against his former club, Borussia Dortmund. However, Dortmund, the German side, they did dominate ball possession, but in the end, it's victory for the Italian side.
It was a weak match for Dortmund. Definitely a rough start to the Champions League for them.
Yeah, I think for Lazio, if they continue playing like this in the Champions League, they have a good chance of progressing to the round of 16.
A lot of these teams, Europe, they've been always doubting Italian clubs, except Juventus. Lazio could easily make a run into the Champions League. They're a strong force with Immobile.
Yeah. PSG 1, Manchester United 2. Manchester United yet again win. Rashford yet again haunts PSG in the Parc des Princes like he did in the 2018-19 season. This was an incredible match for the Red Devils. Wan-Bissaka, Tuanzebe, they all look sharp in defense. I think this game has proven that Manchester United should not... we talked about relying on Bruno Fernandes, but at the same time, there's a lot of criticism on Harry Maguire saying they don't need him. I think he's a big waste of money, and I kind of do agree with this performance from Manchester United.
It was a great... to beat a team as PSG, they were in the Champions League final. Just an amazing result for them. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Yeah. RB Leipzig 2, Istanbul Başakşehir 0. Angelino, the left wing-back, scores a brace for the German side, and I think as of lately, he's been scoring in a lot of consecutive games.
They just found ways to fill Timo Werner's space.
Definitely.
They've been rolling.
Yeah. And like I said, Angelino, he's been scoring on consecutive games in the Bundesliga, and I do consider him one of the best left wing-backs the Bundesliga has to offer today. Rennes 1, Krasnodar 1. Not too much to say here, except Rennes did dominate the match with youngster Eduardo Camavinga being one of the key players in this match, so big congrats to him. Real Madrid 2, Shakhtar Donetsk 3. I don't think anyone expected this result from
Everyone
the Ukrainian side.
was ready to say, I don't need to even watch this game. Madrid is going to absolutely dominate. But Shakhtar Donetsk, and a lot of people forget, a lot of their first squad is out right now due to the coronavirus, and they've battled back. Huge upset, starting the game 3-0.
Yeah, 10 players from the from Shakhtar's first team squad out of this match. We would expect Real Madrid to win, but it was 3-0 to the Ukrainian side at halftime. We were going to think during halftime, what does Real Madrid have to do to make this comeback? And they almost pulled it off. I mean, when
Vinicius Jr. came on.
Vinicius, Modric with an amazing strike. I mean, that's what Luka Modric can produce. Federico Valverde had a strike in the last minute. Unfortunately, it was ruled off by VAR because it was in fact Vinicius Jr. who was in front of the goalkeepers. Like, he was literally right in front of him, so he couldn't see
him. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was definitely offside.
I do agree it was the right call.
Definitely, yeah. And it's one win of the last 8 without Sergio Ramos in the squad. And the next match will, in fact, be El Clasico against Barcelona. Okay. This is pretty interesting.
It shows how much they've relied on Sergio Ramos to hold that back line together. I mean, one win of the last 8 in the Champions League, when they lost, like, one win when they don't have him. It's extremely difficult to play without him. It just shows, despite his age, how good of a player he still is for that club.
He is, and this means a second consecutive home defeat for Real Madrid. One against Cadiz this last week, newly promoted from La Liga second division, and one today against Shakhtar. This team's not looking they're not looking sharp, and I think against Barcelona they will struggle if they perform like this.
Maybe they were looking ahead to El Clasico.
Yeah. Salzburg 2, Lokomotiv Moscow 2. Not too much again from this fixture. Ajax 0, Liverpool 1. An own goal by Nicolas Tagliafico secured the win for the Reds. And I think it was a deserved victory, but at the same time, we had both teams going in at their own nets. I mean,
Ajax could definitely play up to Liverpool. We're playing up to Liverpool's speed. Just good start for Liverpool without Van Dijk. Clean sheet.
Definitely. I think Fabinho, Jurgen Klopp's, like, he was thinking about who can replace Van Dijk in the central back position, and he thought of Fabinho. I think this was a perfect decision. I mean, Fabinho, he's had a massive goal clearance in this game against Ajax. I think he did Virgil van Dijk proud. I mean, we could definitely see Fabinho drop back for center back throughout the whole season. Yeah.
Now let's talk about the champions of Europe last season. A lot of questions surrounding if this club could do it again, but so far they have silenced the doubters with a 4-0 win over Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, a dominant performance by the European champions. I mean, Atletico Madrid, they did not look sharp. Bayern Munich, this team is absolutely unbelievable. They are like gladiators, all of them. This is like insane. You had Koeman on the score sheet. You had Tolisso with an absolute banger. I don't know if you guys saw it, but that was, I think that was one of the best goals of the weekday. So
are they coming for another treble?
I think so. I mean, this team doesn't stop. Like,
this team is playing just as well as last year, even better.
Yeah, I think Bayern Munich, this team definitely could win another treble.
Lewandowski's going for the Ballon d'Or once again.
Definitely, yeah. Hopefully, it doesn't get canceled next year. I mean, it would suck to have it canceled 2 years in a row. Hopefully, it doesn't happen. I think for 2021, it will resume as normal. So, yeah. Inter 2, Borussia Mönchengladbach 2. This was not, I mean, you had Inter score in the last minute with a goal from Lukaku, 2-2. Borussia Mönchengladbach, they were winning 2-1.
I think this game is expected to be won by Inter Milan. I'm sure they're disappointed with the result.
Yeah, I honestly think performances like these for Inter, they've been in the Champions League. Like, this is their third consecutive year in the Champions League, and they always seem to land in the third place in the group stage, and that sends them directly to the Europa League. Could we see the same here? Maybe. I mean, when you have a team like Real Madrid, Shakhtar, Borussia Mönchengladbach, and Inter, I definitely can see Inter like landing in third place.
Yeah, could be. Let's see. They got a rough start for them.
Manchester City 3, Porto 1.
Expected.
As expected, yep. And next up, newly debutants from Denmark, Midtjylland 0, Atalanta 4. We know how Atalanta can play, especially at this level in the Champions League.
They were going.
Yeah, they were like last season. They almost shocked PSG by eliminating them in the quarterfinals, but unfortunately that did not happen. But Atalanta, looking sharp. Papu Gomez, Duvan Zapata, the whole squad. Next up, last but not least, Olympiacos 1, Olympique de Marseille 0. Not too much again from this fixture. And I just want to ask you, Aidan, who do you think looks the strongest in the Champions League?
I think definitely Bayern Munich has been the strongest club. They're just continuing to prove why they can win the Champions League once again.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Also, I would mention Barcelona. I mean, if it wasn't, I think definitely they could have kept the clean sheet, and it could have been 5-0, but fortunately it was a penalty.
A lot of people have kind of forgotten about this Barcelona team. Barcelona still have Messi. They're still an amazing club. They can make a run.
Definitely, and their future's looking bright as well. Like I said, they sold some pretty old players last season with Ivan Rakitic, with Arturo Vidal. They sold Nelson Semedo to Wolves. I mean, this team, they brought in some youngsters. They've adapted well, you could say, in the squad, and they know how to play at a top level. And I wish them the best in the future.
Let's talk about this new European Premier League proposal. The proposal was backed by Liverpool and Manchester United. They're talking of the construction of a new FIFA-backed league that would be the European Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, there's numerous clubs from Germany, France, Italy, Spain who are in talks to participate in this new competition, with relegation being a possibility in this new tournament. However, they're not thinking about adding it like in the first 20 years of this.
And for context, this would replace the Champions League and would be this elite league of all of the best teams. So you have Barcelona, Juventus, Liverpool. Everyone is all in one league. Everyone plays each other twice the year, and the winner is the true champion.
Essentially, this new league, it's formatted in a way where it's like you have your league table, and then you have a specific amount of top teams. Like, let's say in the top 5 or top 6, you will have these teams going into the playoff round. Essentially similar to what you see in an typical MLS tournament. Like I said, the top 6 teams in each Eastern Conference, they go up to the playoffs. And then to the playoffs, they go like in brackets, and that's how you find out you're a champion. And for me, I think this will certainly be the end of the Champions League if this happens. But for me, in my opinion, instead of this new league, I think this should be a third division of European competition. You have the Champions League as your main European competition league. Then you have the Europa League, and I think there should be like one more below that one, like for teams like in the mid tables. I would say teams that always land in mid tables for the top 5 leagues for basically every country in Europe. I think
I'm on the opposite side of you. I think this is a brilliant idea, and they should have had it earlier. The ability to create a league of that magnitude would attract so many new fans to the sport. Every week you are looking forward to amazing matchups. In the Champions League, it's only group stage, just some all-right matchups, but you are going to see every week there will be these crazy games. It's like you have Barcelona against like Juventus one week, and then you've like Liverpool, Bayern Munich the next.
I think because this will replace the Champions League, I don't want to see the Champions League gone. Honestly, everyone's made like a lot of memories with the Champions League, a lot of like beautiful goals being produced, a lot of even the Champions League anthem, like everyone will miss that. I think new players on the run, I think everyone's going to be missing that. And it's sad to see the Champions League go. Honestly, it's really sad, but I mean, if this happens, I mean, I wish every team the best.
We do. We gotta get to a break. We will be right back after a short break with the MLS Playoff Push and the U.S. men's national team and U.S. women's national team in review.
And we are back on the soccer show at sleepyhollowradio.com, where now we will discuss the MLS Playoff Push. So to begin, NYCFC, they began to drop points with 2 losses and 1 draw in their last 3 games. Toronto and Philadelphia Union continue to impress, with both teams in the top 2 for the Eastern Conference table. Both New York teams could definitely sneak a place into the MLS playoffs. Since there's so many playoff spots, anything is possible at this point. I mean, we could see lower sided teams go up, and yeah, it's like Miami could get even hot.
It's anyone's. It's wide open. I think that's just one criticism of the MLS is they make their playoffs way too big, and it does make it exciting to lose runs, but it makes the regular season a lot weaker and less important, knowing that so many teams are going to qualify for the playoffs. The playoffs should be a very special thing, maybe even top 4 from the East and the West, to make it even more competitive.
I think if it were let's say we have a 6th place team from the Eastern Conference go all the way to the final. I mean, this would be something no one would expect, considering how poor. I mean, I wouldn't say poor, but they've done poor things in their season. And I think if we were to maintain the amount of playoff spots, I think it would be more diverse, more I think a little bit more competitive. To see more teams have a shot at the gold at the MLS Cup.
And even or just getting rid of the East and the West and just making one massive league, and the top 4 battle it out at the end. The top 8 should be like that.
And moving forward to the U.S. men's and women's national teams in review, we've had not 1, not 2, but 5 Americans playing in the Champions League on Tuesday. We've had Christian Pulisic from Chelsea, Giovanni Reina from Borussia Dortmund, Serginho Dest from Barcelona, Tyler Adams from RB Leipzig, and Ethan Horvath from Club Brugge.
I just want to highlight Ethan Horvath for Club Brugge. He had an excellent performance on Tuesday. Just some great goalkeeping. And a lot of these clubs, we're noticing, these clubs are serious contenders. I mean, Barcelona with Dest. Dest is playing pretty well to start. He can make a run.
I think definitely for Ethan Horvath, performances like these, I think if he continues to perform well, especially in the Belgian League and Champions League, it could earn him a call up into the national squad.
Definitely.
I know we have Zach Steffen, Brad Guzan, Sean Johnson in the United States national team, but I think we're all ready to see some new faces.
We're ready to see the new era of the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah. Tobin Heath also scored her first goal in Manchester United colours in the women's team, and Christian Press as well.
They both got off to a great start, both scoring their first goal for the Women's Premier League. Excited for them.
Giovanni Reina aided Borussia Dortmund to a 1-0 win over Hoffenheim last Saturday. These Americans are no joke, folks. They're here to play. They are thrilling to watch, and these are teams which Americans are playing, which could win the Champions League.
Americans are here to take over Europe.
Yep.
It's time.
All right, folks. Now we will go to our callers segment.
We're going to take a short break, get our caller ready, and we'll have him on the air in a second. We'll interview him, and we'll discuss. We'll ask questions about him, and we'll let him ask a few questions. Welcome back to the Sleepy Hollow Soccer Show at sleepyhollowradio.com. We are joined by our first caller on the show, Sean Gallagher. Sean, do you want to tell the people about yourself?
Hey guys, my name's Sean Gallagher, and I'm a junior at Sleepy Hollow High School.
Sean, what's your favorite team?
My favorite team is probably Real Madrid.
Very nice. And we know you play for the Sleepy Hollow varsity soccer team. You guys had a game on Tuesday against Rye. How did that go for you guys?
I mean, it didn't go too well. We did lose, but we could have beaten them. So we just need to work together more as a team, and we'll do better next time.
Do you have any specific things you that went wrong for the team, like defensively, attacking, or?
Well, I feel like since it was our first time playing together as a team, we just weren't really functioning well. The chemistry wasn't really there, but we've been working on that. And today we have a game, and that will hopefully show.
Awesome.
Me and Aidan here wish you guys all the best of luck.
And now we'll let you ask a question to us.
All right. So, in your opinion, who do you think the most valuable player is in the MLS at the moment?
I would have to say Alejandro Pozuelo with Toronto FC. He has put his team in title contention and the number 1 seed in the East. He's had, so far, I believe, 8 goals, 10 assists in this season, and he's just had brilliant play all season to possibly lead them to a title for the Canadian team.
Yeah, I agree with this as well. Alejandro Pozuelo is actually 8 goals and 4 assists, but he's been on point for Toronto. He's been their main star player, I think. He's had some experience in Europe, playing in Belgium, playing in Spain and England. I think a player like him definitely could bring Toronto another MLS trophy.
Sean, who do you think is the best player?
I think the best player is Carlos Stella for LA. So last season, he really proved himself. He started every game he played. He scored 36 goals in 2019 with only 1 yellow card. And that shows what a player he is without getting any fouls or playing dirty. And he also played for Mexico, which shows he has team spirit. He can play for a national team.
Carlos Vela has definitely played brilliant for LAFC. He's had strong performances, definitely earned himself. He had a great season last year.
Yeah, unfortunately for him this season, it's like he had 2 goals in his first 3 games for LAFC. Unfortunately, he did go off injured, so we don't know when he's expected to come back, maybe early November. But let's hope we see the Carlos Vela we saw last season, scoring a lot of goals.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sean, for coming on the show. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
No problem.
And we'll see you too. Thank you, everyone, for listening. This was episode 3 of the Soccer Show. If you want to call in, please talk to Kevin Aguirre or I, and we will have a great show for you next week. If you have any suggestions, please let us know. Thank you for listening.
This has been the Sleepy Hollow Soccer Show on Sleepy Hollow Radio. We hope to see you soon.
He's a genius. He can do special things with the football.
Ball still in there. Pulisic! Hat-trick!
This one drops in and forget away.
¡Gol arco! ¡Golazo! ¡Golazo!
He's a genius. He can do special things with the football.
Ball still in there. Pulisic! Hat-trick!
This one drops in and forget away.
¡Gol arco! ¡Golazo! ¡Golazo!